how do we pay for it? And my biggest concern, obviously this trust issue with the governor, even if we get a capital bill somehow paid for, can we trust the governor to hand out the projects? I mean, how do you do that?
Well, I don't think you can ever trust this governor fully to hand out the projects, and that's been a big concern of our caucus. I mean, I voted for the capital bill last spring that went over to the House and sat over there. And I did that mainly because Speaker Madigan was not receptive to doing a capital bill. And I thought maybe if we moved one over there and put a little more pressure on him to at least to get him to the table and negotiate. You know, we found out that the federal government's not going to stand for us leasing out the lottery. Mm-hmm. That's not going to happen. The governor may still think it's going to, but he's living in a different world than the rest of us are if he thinks that's going to happen. So we've got to find a different way to fund it. I think it's the best way in the world to turn around the economy in the state of Illinois. We're going to put, you know, probably 500 to 700,000 people to work in the state of Illinois if we do this capital bill that passed out of the Senate and sent it over to the House. And those will be good paying jobs, and those people will buy products, and they'll pay their house payments, and they'll pay their car payments, or they'll upgrade, and like they'll buy refrigerators and stoves and whatever. So I think it's the best way to turn the economy around. How do we pay for it? I think we have to look at everything out there, but I think there's some revenue sources out there that if we look at them, we'll find out that we can use a certain revenue source, and the capital bill will help stir that economy in and bring more of that revenue in that source. You know, whether it be a sales tax or whatever it may be. But we've got some experts in this building, and we just need to use those experts. I mean, we do in the Senate caucus, Republican caucus. We've got some real financial experts in our caucus, and we just need to be listening to them, and they can show us ways to pay for this capital bill.
I noticed the other day there was a website set up called, I think it was Recruit Tom Cross or something along those lines, and now he's being rumored as a gubernatorial candidate, Republican Party 2010, along with Bill Brady. I know Doug Whitley, the president of the Illinois Chamber of Commerce, has thrown his hat into the ring as well. Do you endorse anybody this early on? And you know, even if you don't have a specific person in mind, how do you feel about this particular group of people?
Well, I know all of them very, very well. And in fact, 2 years ago, I supported Senator Bill Brady when he ran against Judy Bar Topeka and several others. And he was not successful. I have committed to Bill Brady, and I'm going to do everything I humanly possibly can to see that he's the next governor of the state of Illinois in 2010. You know, I'm going to be just surrogate speaking for him throughout the southern part of the state, or wherever else he wants me to do. But I think we have to get the message out there that Bill's the guy. You know, I like Doug Whitley, I like Tom Cross, but I don't think they represent our core values as well as Bill Brady does, and we have to keep our core base of the electorate in there behind the candidate to start with, and then we go for the other votes. But you know, I'm supporting Bill Brady. I have nothing against the other two gentlemen that's thinking about it, and you know, there may be others that thinks about it.
Sure.
I think what everybody has to do in the Republican Party, regardless whether you're Tom Cross or Bill Brady or whoever, we have to decide that, hey, this is our candidate, and let's go with that person. There's other slots that may be open for other people to run in. I mean, if Lisa Madigan runs for governor, as she's saying she's probably going to do, that opens up the Attorney General spot. Well, who's going to run for the Attorney General then? You know, I'm hearing that Dan Hines may want to run for the Attorney General spot. And if that does, then you've got the Attorney General slot, you've got the Comptroller's office, and the Treasurer's even thinking that he may run for governor. Mm-hmm. So, you know, every constitutional office should be available to run somebody in, except for the Secretary of State. And I don't think Jesse White's going anywhere. I think he's happy being Secretary of State. Yeah,
I believe he is, too. Well, I really do appreciate the time today, Senator. And, you know, anything, just closing comments. What do you think will be the upshot of the upcoming session in January? Are we looking at a tax increase? Is that going to be the income tax that Madigan has looked forward to?
Well, you know, if Madigan is, he's going to have to get some people on board with it. You know, he leads at least one Republican to help him there. And I'm sure he needs more than that, because not every Democrat's going to vote for a tax increase over in the House. And the same way in the Senate. I mean, it's not a slam dunk that they're going to pass a tax increase in the Senate. But I think what we have to do is, and hopefully the new leader of the Senate, the new president of the Senate, along with our Republican caucus leader in the Senate, that all four caucuses sit down together, that all four leaders sit down together and say, look, let's see what all is waste in this government right now. And we have a tremendous amount of it. I mean, if we hadn't created all the new programs that the governor's created over the last 6 years, we wouldn't be near the mess we are right now. And so maybe we have to go back and roll those programs all back and move from there. But I think the big thing we have to do right now is, and I was on a conference call with the governor's office on Friday afternoon, or Monday afternoon, I take that back, Monday afternoon at 4 o'clock, along with other legislators. But my question to the governor's office then was, what are we going to do about paying our providers right now? Because I've got pharmacists calling me, I've got people that clean up underground storage things. I got one gentleman in my district that's got work going on in 74 of the 102 counties in the state right now, cleaning up underground storage tank sites. We owe him $19 million. He's getting ready to have to shut down completely, and if he does, here's all these jobs in 74 counties that will not be completed by him. And where are we going to go get somebody else, because we don't pay our bills? Mm-hmm. He can't pay his bills, and we can't pay him. And my question to the governor's office was, are we looking at borrowing money and paying these medical providers up, and people, this provider in my district with cleaning up the underground storage tanks? And they said they started that day talking with the comptroller, the Attorney General's office, and the Treasurer's office. So they say they're looking at borrowing money and getting everybody paid up.
Well, it's definitely scary financial times that are at the national level, that are exacerbated here at the state level, because we were already in a hole before everything else melted down.
Yeah.
So I know that people are definitely worried out there, people, especially small business owners, because it's tough. I talked to a guy yesterday who provides food for the prison system, and somebody put an order in, and they said, we're not sending you any more food until we get paid. Now, you know, you have an obligation to prisoners, even if they have shown they can't live with the rest of free society. You know, and so that, well,
we still have to feed them.
Yeah, exactly. So again, appreciate your time today.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Glad to do it.